Okay, we're going to look at replacing the speed sensor on a Yamaha waverunner. This is a 2000 XL800. There are many waverunner models, though, that are going to be the same deal. Now, the speed sensor is a very long cable, and it is this black cable. You'll see it running basically the length of the hull. And I've got the engine out of this one, so it makes it a little easier. There's your cable again, and then it goes all the way to the back. That fitting there, I think it's got a nut on it, and it threads in and seals right there. And of course, come out, get this thing back out so we can get some steadier frames. It hooks up to the bottom of your ski right there. Now this one is not working. I've got no speedometer on the readout on the display. That thing's like $100 and some odd bucks. Hopefully you can find one for less. But so you've got 4 Phillips screws on the plate that hold in the sensor, and these are in and have been in such a way, and this ski's been running some salt water. Those screws won't come out, so I'm going to have to use an impact screwdriver to get them out. Now, it would have been easier, I guess, if I had just left that plate up, but the whole sensor's got to come out. So basically, you're running wiring the length of your ski. You can see where it comes. Let's see where they run it through. That underneath where the muffler sticks through here, so it runs under. It actually comes up and hooks into this. You've got removable tie wraps, reusable on the Yamaha, and then runs all the way up into the front, into that white connector, which all of these were bundled up under this tie wrap. But there's your connector there. And it's three wires. So I'm guessing there's going to be 3 wires on the inside of this sensor. Now, me being kind of handy, I'm going to see if I can re-splice or check that wiring, because I saw a cut back in the back near where the jet pump comes out, and that's probably what's wrong with mine. But so there's how it runs and where it runs to, and that's how you get it out. All right, and I'm going to attempt to repair this one. Don't know how successful that's going to be, but I'm going to try it just because of the expense of the part. Okay, so I've gotten my whole cable loose, and I've got all of it piled in the back part of the jet ski. I've got to get this off. The nut is actually on the other side. I'm going to try to turn from this direction. I've got a pair of needle nose vice grips grabbing the nut, and I'm going to try to turn from here because it's very difficult to get down into that section of the hull from the top. I was able to get that to grab it, and it's going to be loads of fun getting this put back in. And of course, my job is made easier because I have removed the jet pump. So I have all this room, and the muffler is out from the top. The hoses, everything's pretty much out of the way because this ski is getting an overhaul. And so here's my whole cable. And I don't know if I can get you see I've got the grips on it. I'm going to try to turn from in here, from about out there, and see if I can unthread that. But that's how I'm doing it. Okay, I got all the screws loose. You'll notice I did put a board underneath it to give me a surface to work with. I don't know if the wrench fell off inside or whatever, but it loosened up enough that the rubber, I was able to start pulling the cable out, so I had enough room to where it wasn't hanging, and just working with it. And you can see I've got nicks in the wiring out around the jet pump area. So I'll check continuity on my wires, see if any of them are shorted together or what have you. Hopefully I can do a wire repair and seal this all back up with heat shrink tubing, and not have to buy this.
Well, there's the problem. That is the problem. The black wire, black with a yellow stripe, is completely broken. So this couldn't work if it wanted to. So what I'm probably going to do is splice it. I'm going to do some wire splicing, and then I will solder the wires together with solder and repair it with, to waterproof it with heat shrink tubing. But they give you plenty of length of wire on this, so you should be able to repair yours as well. Now, the only thing that may keep it from working is if the electronic component, and I'm sure this is magnetic, this thing spins, and then there's something that picks up the spinning of that to give you your, there's some sort of magnetic pickup in here. Hopefully that's all still good, and just the wire, but certainly the break in the wire is causing this to not work. And why pay $100 and some odd when if you can do a little bit of wiring, you can fix this. Okay, everybody, so this is how it turned out. It's very easy. Splicing wires, it's a little thicker than normal. But what I did, I used 3 different sizes of heat shrink tubing. So the smallest I could get to fit the wire when I got them together, soldered them together with my little soldering iron, and then I would heat that little piece of tubing. Did that for all 3 wires, covered them up with heat shrink. Then I went over with a medium size piece of heat shrink to cover the entire job. So they're all 3 insulated from each other. Then another insulator from this side, another insulator from this side, and then another larger one and another larger one. Of course, you have to have those staged ready to go on. And I melted them all with my edge, which is, I think I'm melting my wire with it, but this edge of the soldering iron, just got them all back on there. So that thing's really sealed up. The good thing about this is you can check it without having an engine. As long as you've got a battery, you can hook a battery up and plug this back up, spin this, and see if you've got a readout on your speedometer. So I'm going to try that before I fully install this. But I think really that should be good to go. If you want to know the truth, I think it'll be good to go.